The next thing I want to cover is a bit of a security-focused enhancements we have done to FireDAC. The idea, of course, is not to make applications magically secure. To have a secure application, you need to apply best practices. You need to follow a lot of good approaches in development. There's no shortcut to it. But FireDAC is providing in 12.0 some options that can help improve an application security. Primarily trying to disable side effects in SQL execution and make it more difficult to inject something nasty into your SQL code. This is done through a security options property, which has the ability to restrict the SQL operations a query can perform. For example, a query can only do select, cannot do insert or updates. This allows having multiple commands chained in a single SQL execute operation. That depends on the underlying database. If the database supports it, we are exposing the feature. Preventing the ability to change the SQL of a SQL query at runtime, and making sure that an insert or update only affects one record and fail if it ends up updating more than one record. In general terms, in the data space, we have also added improvements to JSON streaming. We did some of them because of the JSON mapping wizard. We've added a brand new feature in FireDAC, which is support for query by example. Query by example is a very powerful way that lets use data-aware UI controls that, rather than displaying data or being an input mechanism for your users, they allow your user to specify filters like more than 10 or it should be like this name and so forth. You can just type your rules into the UI controls and FireDAC will create matching SQL statements for you. We've added IB Lite and IB2Go for a simulator, improve a number of small things in the system, and move the SQLite version we support to an updated release. Notice though that SQLite 3.42 does not support the old FireDAC encryption. If you want to use FireDAC encryption, you need to rely on the old version of SQLite, which is also available. Third option, we support SQLite EE, which is the paid encrypted version of SQLite. Of course, before going through paid for SQLite with encryption, we recommend you have a look to IB2Go, which not only is available freely on mobile if you're an enterprise, but it has a yearly subscription to deploy on all platforms, which is at a price point similar to the SQLite encryption.